Miami. For the third time this season, the Toronto Raptors and the Miami Heat, they split the first two meetings. This is the second night of a back-to-back for the Toronto Raptors. The Miami Heat returning from a 7-game road trip out west. They won their final 3 games on that road trip. Welcome inside Scotiabank Arena. Matt Devlin alongside the coach, Jack Armstrong. Certainly glad to have you along. And you think about Fred VanVleet and what he's been able to accomplish already this season. One of 5 players in the NBA that has better than 40 steals and 25 blocks. And Nick Nurse said before the start of the game, he said, you know what? He's playing very all-star-like, although he didn't make the all-star game.
Well, he deserves it. Unfortunately, he's not going to be there. But nonetheless, when you evaluate his performance this year, it's on both ends of the court, Matt. I mean, he just impacts winning in so many different ways, and the efficiency's there. And he is like a stock who just keeps rising and rising in value. And he is definitely giving return on investment to the Raptors based upon their signing of him in the offseason.
As Fred said, turn those blocks into steals. He had a career-high 4 last night. And Bam Adebayo, you look at those numbers, also not named to the All-Star team. In fact, Miami does not have anybody along with the Raptors, and a lot of that could be said with both of their records.
Well, he impacts winning on a number of fronts, right? He can score for you in the post, face-up game. Tremendous rebounder on both ends. Great nose for the ball, 50-50 balls. And last but not least, a terrific playmaker high and low post.
Miami has had to deal with a ton of injuries as well as safety and health protocols. Tonight's starting lineups, Jack, brought to you by Expedia. Imagine the places will go together. VanVleet, Lowry, Powell, Anunoby, and Siakam. It's Nunn, Robinson, Butler, Olynyk, and Adebayo. No Tyler Hero this evening for the Miami Heat. OG Anunoby, you may recall, didn't play the second night of a back-to-back last Friday in Minnesota as the Raptors, they really grinded that one out, and they won their first game in the second night of a back-to-back in the season. Miami, they've won 3 in a row. Started with a win against Sacramento, then in LA. They were impressive in Oklahoma City, their last victory. And we are underway. Jimmy Butler, shovel pass over to Nunn. Raptors lost the first meeting on January 20th in Tampa, 111-102. Then on January 22nd, Raptors won it 101-81, and the three-pointer is good. And we know this, Duncan Robinson can shoot the 3, Jack.
Oh, he's marvelous from behind the arc, 39%, but if he gets clean looks, he's at another level.
OG Anunoby on the inside with a slam dunk. And the Toronto Raptors and the Heat underway. Duncan, the only Heat player to start all 31 games this season.
I think that tells you a little something about their record.
Yep. Raptors, when you look at their starting 5, the same essentially could be said with Fred VanVleet. Has 33 starts, and he's the only player. Raptors are 16-16. And the call reversed. Our 3 officials, Kane Fitzgerald, Gediminas Petraitis, and Brett Nansel.
I've never understood why they let the refs just go grab the ball out of the refs' hands and inbound it.
Well, you gotta be nice, Jack.
Forget being nice. There's no nice on the schoolyard.
Here's Robinson has made 2 threes.
Open looks.
Duncan Robinson made 6 on a Monday.
Those are layups
in Oklahoma City. He has been a sharpshooter since entering the NBA. This is his 3rd season. Kyle Lowry, great to see Kyle back. Lowry missed 4 games with a left thumb injury. Pascal, and instead of going at Robinson, he fades, and that jumper doesn't go. Miami up by 4 early. Up fake, spinning around, Bam Adebayo. OG doing a solid job. Here's Fred quickly. Pascal now cruising. Siakam in the corner. Powell drives end line, and he's fouled. They're going to actually call a foul on Norman Powell.
Wow.
I'm surprised by that. And now, wait a minute. Nansel and Gediminas Petraeus, I believe, have two different visions of this. And Kane Fitzgerald comes over to have a word. And what do you think, Brett? What do you think, Gediminas? Well, I saw this, and Brett's saying, well, I saw that.
They might go jump ball. You know how that.
And so
Let's see.
blow by there, and there's definitely a foul. And it's definitely on 55, and quite possibly even Kelly Olynyk on a reach-in. Kane Fitzgerald here. And double foul. That is. Go ahead, Jack. Say it.
Get that garbage out of here! What's going on out there? And what did I tell you? What are they going to do? They're going to jump it up. That's a complete cop-out.
You sit on the council board advisory committee.
I'm not doing some council board Zoom meeting. I've been to Vegas and Chicago for those things. I want a free trip out of it.
Here's none. Both end up with a foul.
They'll probably have it in like Secaucus, New Jersey, or some hot spot.
And Nunn dribbles it off of his leg, so Norman Powell picks up the foul. And Robinson a foul. Raptors down 4. It's a tough one. Major minutes last night for everyone but Kyle Lowry in this starting unit. OG fires away, and it's good. Anunoby on the season, 40%.
Only 21% since he got back, so that's a big shot for him, Matt.
Yep. Played the 2 games against Milwaukee and then Philly, and this being the 5th game back. OG with the rebound. Here's Kyle. Nick Nurse said he is under no minutes restrictions. He may play the most minutes tonight. Raptors, after tonight, they have 4 games remaining in the first half, as Kyle will head to the free throw line and Jimmy Butler is called for the foul. Houston, Chicago, Detroit, and then they'll wrap up the first half. Jack in Boston. We'll be right here in Toronto. And Kyle misses the first free throw.
Lowry in the 4 games before he got hurt played well, Matt. 22 points, 5 assists, and shooting the ball north of 50%, so is at a high level.
Tied at 6. Raptors had won their last 16 without Kyle Lowry until last night. I mean, there's a lot of reasons for that, and Nick Nurse mentioned that prior to the start of this game, but he certainly pointed out the play of Fred VanVleet. Batted out. Here's OG. None is back. Robinson back. Butler back. Kyle on the attack, and it's good. North Philly's finest back in action. And Nunn looked like he came to a running stop. And Adebayo on the inside.
Point of emphasis, they're really trying to go inside early, plus they really crash it on the offensive glass because of the lack of size for the Raptors. So you really got to put a body on people and win those 50-50 battles, those loose balls. And here's one right here on the shot. Again, there's that loose ball and batting it out. And OG Anunoby off to the races, and here comes Kyle Lowry.
OG on the inside, and Olynyk gets a piece of it. Raptors are 30th in the NBA at rebounding. Olynyk with the layup.
Good job.
And a timeout taken. Miami's 28th in the NBA in rebounding. We have a timeout on the floor. Miami by 2. These key players are brought to you by
Jackpot City.
Discover a world of incredible casino games at jackpotcity.net.
Well, both of these guys putting up numbers, Matty D. I guess that's what you do at Jackpot City, too. And Norm Powell, he's rolling the good dice. I tell you what, he's getting it done right here. 23 points the last time they played Miami. His first of 17 starts, taking it to the basket. And man, oh man, he's been on a tremendous roll here for the Raptors. and has been a big part of why they've started to play it at such a high level compared to that 2-8 start. Getting him more minutes, more touches, more activity.
And the season high 31 last Friday in the second night of a back-to-back against the Wolves. There's Kyle Lowry connecting.
Surprising they dropped back and he just was able to receive and shoot. Normally don't see that.
39% three.
See that from Miami. I know they're good protecting the paint.
Wide open there.
Wow.
Pascal Siakam played major minutes last night, Jack. 42 plus. And Norman Powell hard off the back of the iron. Lowry unable to come away with it. Here's Butler. Olynyk sends it now to Adebayo. Here's Adebayo. And Butler has it denied by OG. Three once again. Kyle Lowry connects. Lowry, 9 of the Raptors' 14 points.
Well, he's the freshest guy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Might as well get him going early. Might need to ride him.
Fred played 37 last night. Norm played better than 35. Butler, short corner. Jay doesn't go. And a foul is called on OG.
Anunoby, that's his first foul. And here it is, Bam Adebayo to Butler. Get there, Garbage in here! And then great job here. Siakam dropping a dime. Lowry, splash. Siakam, 2 assists already, averaging over 6 assists a game in the last 6.
The cut underneath and the foul. Lowry, his first foul. Robinson will head to the line. And Duncan Robinson at 22 on a Monday in Oklahoma City. And Kyle Lowry frustrated.
I think he was grabbing that thumb again, Matt. Got to keep an eye on that.
Missed 11 games last season with that left thumb injury. And it's wrapped, and it was wrapped heavily prior to the tip. Here's Fred sends it to OG, ready to shoot. And the three doesn't go. Miami by 1. First game back in Miami for the Heat. Traveling west to east, sometimes that can be an issue. Norman Powell over to Pascal. Short trip, Jack. Tampa to Miami. Here's Kyle on the take. Sends it to Anunoby. End line behind the back. Clock down. Pascal got his legs into it and connects. Puck it and book it.
Paint touch, extra pass, swing, clean look. Well choreographed play. How about this, Matty D? 12 field goals by these two teams. All have been scored off of assists. And the Raps, look at this right here. Paint touch, swing, and then get rid of it. Bang, bang. Great job. That's excellent movement right there. And the Raptors, 4 of 6 behind the arc. And Miami, they're very paint protection conscious, as are the Raptors. So when you go in there to drive it, they're going to converge to protect. You got to get the ball out quick, and then that next pass on the perimeter.
Bembry, DeAndre Bembry in his 5th season. That is St. Joe's. Checks in, and he has played well. 14 consecutive games. He's played 17 or more minutes.
Baines in as well.
He has found a home in the rotation, and Kyle is on fire early, and he's going to head to the free throw line. Foul on Olynyk, his second.
It's the warm weather of Florida. The older player, right? He loves the sunshine. A few days off, and he's coming out hooping.
Change that, it's going to be his first on Olynyk, and Kyle, dominant opening quarter.
Nice day here today in Toronto.
It was beautiful. Lowry, it was a great day, by the way, in Miami, Jack.
Well, don't rub it in. But it was a nice running day here.
from what I saw on the internet. Here's Nunn getting to Grim Kyle.
I don't always believe what you read on the internet.
My source is weather.com. And deflected, knocked away. And Goran Dragic is back. And Dragic lays it up and in. He's missed the last 9 games with a left ankle sprain. He's a difference maker.
Sure is. He was a big reason why they got to the NBA Finals last year.
Kyle turns, and Butler to closeout. And Butler sends it back to Dragic. Here's Jimmy trying to work against Baines, and Baines the foul.
3 plays. Steals Siakam, block, and now draws a foul. Jimmy Butler. Look at that right here. He's in your area. You got to be very conscious of that point to wing pass, turning it into 2 points. And then he comes back and blocks a shot, and now he's at the line. So we talked about in the open, Matt. He's like that baseball 5-tool guy. He kind of can do it all. That's what he does. Maybe one number's not off the charts, but he impacts winning on a number of fronts.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Butler seeing his first action against the Toronto Raptors, as you see Boucher and Patrick McCall checking in for Toronto. His second game. McCall didn't play last night, and you see the difference. And Tyler Hero said he just settles everything down, Jimmy Butler, on both ends of the floor, and it's understandable. The 5-time All-Star. First 6 seasons with Chicago, then a year plus with Minnesota, 55 games with Philadelphia in his second season with Miami, Jack.
It's amazing. In February, we showed it earlier, 9 rebounds, 9 assists a game almost. I mean, the guy just, wow, fun to play with. Unless you're a guy in Minnesota, they didn't like him.
Van Vliet, shot doesn't go.
He was pretty accurate. You know, you look how things settled out there.
Dragic up top. Dragic now, straight line drive on a kick out. Butler. And the shot doesn't go. Boucher with it quickly now. Here's Bembry. More than likely you'll see Nick Nurse go deep into his bench on the second night of a back-to-back. Here's Van Vliet. Good find. Boucher. Clock down. Sticky defense. Fred on time. Arrival. Fred Van Vliet.
Matt, you mentioned it's sticky D. That was terrific defense by Miami. That was a difficult possession by the Raptors. And they managed to get a good shot here, but ball swinging around, back end of the shot clock, beat the clock. Fred Van Vliet, splash. Raptors by 2.
Burness.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Well, today the second half of the NBA schedule was released, and hectic doesn't even begin to describe this. For the Toronto Raptors, there will be 37 games, 20 on the road, 17 at home. So basically 37 on the road, 8 back-to-backs, 2 against the Clippers, 2 against the Lakers, 2 against the Brooklyn Nets. Now, guess who I spoke to before the game? You got it, OG Anunoby. And listen to this answer about the Raptors. There is more to come from this team. We are getting a little more settled in Tampa. Guys now have places to live, and they are adjusting. I think it's weird for a lot of teams league-wide right now. So as the season goes on, we are all starting to figure it out more and more. No doubt the longest answer I have ever been given from OG Matt.
Absolutely.
I think that relationship's just warming up.
That's like a chapter right there from OG, and you cannot discount this. 2-8 start, the shortened training camp, but the move. And we've talked about it so often. This is like the Miami Heat. There are no excuse organizations. That starts at the very top. Pat Riley, Masai Ujiri. But it's just a fact. It's just reality, right? It was a lot of upheaval there. As you're looking for a place to play, looking for gyms, looking for homes. There's the Hall of Famer Pat Riley out of Schenectady, New York, and played at the University of Kentucky for Adolph Rupp. part of the Brunts, and also drafted in the NFL by the Dallas Cowboys. Although he didn't play collegiately, he was a great high school quarterback, as you can imagine. And originally selected by the San Diego Rockets before finding his way to Los Angeles with the Lakers, and left the New York Knicks. And it has been a remarkable tenure in Miami.
It's funny,
1995 on.
He started off as the radio analyst
That's
for
right.
the Los Angeles Lakers, and then
Worked with Chick Hearn.
my buddy Paul Westhead hired him as his assistant, and then when they won a championship, and then when Paul left, Pat succeeded him. Quite a run.
He was the radio analyst / traveling secretary for he was
I know.
for the Lakers. And
See, he was the guy that handed out the per diem.
yeah, Chick Hearn said as he sat Pat Riley down, look, here's the deal on radio. When the ball goes through the net, that's my call. When the ball gets inbounded until the ball gets to midcourt, that's your chance to talk. And Riley's like, well, you got to do that in 8 seconds. You got to do that in 8 seconds. He said, well, that's your time to talk.
Well,
Get it done. But speaking of getting it done, Miami has under Pat Riley. Here's Fred VanVleet. And VanVleet connects, and the Raptors lead here in this first quarter, 29-22. Stability when you think about Miami.
yep.
And
You
Eric
see-
Spoelstra in his 13th season as a head coach started in the video room, Jack.
I remember when Eric started in the league, then he got out on the road as an advanced scout, and tremendous young coach, and he's right behind Red Holtzman, the Hall of Famer, the coach of the New York Knicks, in terms of wins with one team. So Red obviously coached 2 championship teams with the Knicks in 70 and 73, and here's Eric. If he wins tonight, he ties Red, and then still has a good ways to go to catch Phil Jackson. But with the stability in Miami, I'm sure he will have the opportunity to do it, rightfully so.
When you think of organizations that are elite in player development and culture, Toronto, Miami, San Antonio. Here's Boucher. And it's happened under the watchful eye of Masai Ujiri, and then Dwayne Casey, and now Nick Nurse. There's Dragic. 29-25, Raptors by 4. McCaw finds Bembry. Bembry gets it back. McCaw, clock at 7. Boucher. McCaw looks to get rid of it, and from Del Boca Vista, Fred VanVleet.
That's a long way.
32-25, and a foul is called.
And Pat McCaw, he gets rid of the ball quick every time he gets it. Bang!
Not looking for a shot.
No, and VanVleet from another area code, as you mentioned, Matty D. Beautiful Boca Raton, not far. Splash! Fred VanVleet.
Submit your photos and videos on social media showing us how you are enjoying tonight's game using hashtag #TangerineFanAngle. Winners will be featured on the broadcast. Win a Real Sports Apparel gift card, a virtual experience with a Raptors personality, all courtesy of Tangerine Bank.
I'll tell you what, Matty D, next time you're in Boca Raton, try Trattoria Romana, my favorite restaurant in Boca. Very nice. I'm just trying to help you out.
I know, but
you
I said
mentioned
I said Del Boca Vista, not Boca Raton.
Oh, I thought you mentioned Boca Raton.
Do you know where Del Boca Vista is?
I know where Boca Raton is.
I'm only laughing because it's a Seinfeld thing.
Oh, okay.
And I know you haven't watched Seinfeld, so.
No.
I know, so that's why.
That happened,
And then you heard Boca, and so you thought Boca Raton.
Yeah. Well, it's a good restaurant. Check it out.
I will. What was it again? Let me write that down.
Trattoria Romana in Boca Raton. My favorite restaurant.
Boom. There we go. 32-27 play is under
I'll have to
review.
watch that show, Seinfeld.
Yeah, I
It's
heard
pretty
it's
good.
Yeah, it's, you know what, it had a good run. You may want to check
It's
it
not-
out.
What is it, in reruns now?
It's in reruns
Okay.
now. It hasn't been around for a while, but I think you'd enjoy it. You might
It comes
be able
on
to-
right after Happy Days, or
They're checking for a clear.
Laverne and Shirley. Shamil Shamazel. Let's see, 8 seconds, I guess.
It's on after the honeymooners, Jack.
Oh, it's my favorite show.
And
Oh, the clock, see? There's 9 off the clock there. What?
you have Kane Fitzgerald and Brett Nansel there. And Nick Nurse directing traffic. Raptors lead by 5. It's an impressive start. Last night, the Raptors did not start well against Philadelphia. They were outscored 37-18 in that first quarter. And so they're looking to see if it is a clear path foul. Gabe Vincent on the court. There's still conversation going on. You see John Goodwillie there, who has, for the time being, moved up in front of the bench with the Raptors with the departure of Chris Finch to Minnesota.
Replay rules, clear path foul. 2 shots plus the ball.
Clear path foul. Yep, 2 shots and the ball. 36.6 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. And Bembry will check out. And so 2 shots in the ball. Gabe Vincent, Jack, at the free throw line.
Big swing right
And
there.
Bembry with the foul. The stats are not working from Miami.
Yeah, our board is frozen.
At 23-20.
You know, the good thing is the Raptors are winning. Let's
That's
have it
right.
just freeze.
Andre Iguodala and tied up. You just mentioned it. It's a 5-0 run just in that sequence. Overall, 7-0 run, Jack.
Little token pressure now after the made shot. Just make him work to bring the ball up the floor again. Into the zone. We've seen this a lot from Miami. Token pressure into that zone. The Raptors have had issues against it.
Pascal step back 3, tough shot.
Can't settle.
And it's batted away by Dragic, and so Raptors will have the final 5.3 seconds to try to grab the lead at the end of the first 12.
Got to attack gaps, get the ball into the paint, make 2 guys play 1.
Here we go. Good look. Norman Powell. Swish.
Ball got right into the paint. They condense, throw out, wide open.
Raptors have made 9 threes. They struggled last night shooting it. They are on fire tonight. And Jack is going to watch Seinfeld. He'll find Del Boca Vista the next time he's in Florida.
Well, Boca Raton's not a bad place. And I tell you what, Norm Powell, he's hit jimmies from all sorts of area codes.
Let's go to Boca.
Ronnie, Leo, coming up.
3, the Raptors at 9-3 is just a great start for Lowry and his team. Coach Sam Mitchell will join us at halftime, and Kate Burness took the picture tonight. We are angling big time for the fan angle picture.
Come on,
for
give it to
goodness
us.
sake.
Great job, Kate.
Come on, this has got to happen one night, please. Tangerine fan angle, please, please.
Once.
That's a request from the A team. They want it.
Absolutely, from Studio 6. Let's see if they make it tonight.
Hey,
Raptors,
Lita, you know, we got
lot
a
of
tough
pressure.
crew now. CP, Johnny Russin, Gavin, Travis, the whole crew, Digga.
And a travel.
Who makes those executive
OG.
decisions?
Anunoby Those are typically made by Dave Leader, along with the cast of thousands of Chris Phillips, John Russin, Travis Stone, Digger, Gavin, Johnny. And the runner doesn't go. And here's Gabe Vincent. And tied at 35.
That happens a lot, right? The offensive rebound leading to the 3. There's heat back in the zone. Raptors shot 64% from 3 in the first quarter. Heat 5th from the bottom defending the long ball. And they're 4th from the bottom. They're 26th in the league in points against. So they give up a lot of points. They give up a lot of high percentage.
No Jimmy Butler, right?
Changes. They're playing better defensively, but again, a nice off the offensive rebound. Iguodala, such a selfless player. Beautiful job stepping right into that shot.
Pascal guarded by Adebayo. OG finds Kyle the 3, and it doesn't go. Adebayo with opportunity to bring it across the timeline. Dragic with it. Here's Robinson, turns and fires. Good job that time. Norman Powell putting the hand in the face as Lowry tracks it down in the corner. Kyle driving, and the foul. Continuation. And he's got 14.
Forceful Matty D, getting into the body of the defender. He goes right at him, right through him. Great job going at Vincent right here. And one, the old-fashioned way.
Kyle misses the free throw. Iguodala, shot doesn't go.
Nice battle that time by Boucher, getting it.
And Boucher. Siakam and Lowry. On a kick out, OG. Norm, good closeout by Robinson. Boucher clocked down, and it's going to be Raptors ball.
Powell's got to take that little run of that little bank shot there or float it. When he got by his defender, overpassed it that time. I love the unselfishness, but when you present it with a good shot, take it, get it up there.
Like that. Off the inbounds, the length, gather.
How good an inbounder is Kyle Lowry, though, right? I mean, just great trigger man there.
One of the best. And Dragic makes it a 1-point game with 9:44
Remember that pass
to go.
OG Anunoby last year in the bubble, right? Lowry made that pass on the sideline out of bounds.
Miami plus 14 off of the bench. Siakam shot doesn't fall. Iguodala off and running, and the denial. Don't do that out there, because Boucher's going to track it down.
No. Forget about it. Get that garbage out of here. Big time block. Boucher, look at this. The lob. You only got 1 second. Keep the ball up, right? Take it strong. Well done.
Look at that. Only player in the NBA. And the collision, the block, Pascal, and a foul. And they're going to call it an offensive foul.
Siakam was out of control that time, going up the floor. And there it is right here. Looked like he was set.
Raptors by 1. Adebayo swings it over to Dragic in the corner. It's Vincent, doesn't go, and Boucher gathers the rebound. And a foul is going to be charged to Miami, yes.
Our stat monitor not working here, and you know, this reminds me of the old days as a kid, like playing in the school in like a summer league or outdoor summer league. You have to walk over to the table. How many fouls you got? How many timeouts left? I don't have any clue what anyone's statistics are right now. And you know what? I'm not all that bad with it.
Here's Pascal.
Sometimes too many numbers.
Here's Norm.
Just as long as they know the score, we're good.
Raptors by 1. Norm on the take with a left. Oh, what a pretty move.
Matty D, add 2 more in the book. You put a little X. That gets you 2 points.
And Dragic. Air ball. Pascal is fouled by Gabe Vincent.
Norm Powell is doing a beautiful job for the Raptors this year. Calls for the screen and then just looks it off, slips that time and gets the mismatch, the switch though, and bam, switches off, and Siakam that was a phony screen there, and bang, went right through it. They got the switch anyway and went right through him. Well
Baines
read.
will check in. Aaron Baines. Siakam, Lowry.
Phony screen,
Boucher
ghost
out.
screen, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes you slip it, sometimes you just, I'm tired, I'm not going to do it this time. And defense reacts anyway.
Powell and OG. Here's Baines. And 11 points last night, but overall has really struggled at the offensive end this season. Here's Robinson, and he ties it up. Another 3, Jack, from Duncan Robinson.
I don't know how many he's made. Our stat monitor is down, but I know he can shoot.
He's got 12 points. Powell asking for the screen. They get the switch. Pascal now on the move. Big step, has it knocked away. Gathers. And he's going to head to the free throw line, and another foul on Gabe Vincent.
Robinson, Matty D, this guy can shoot the rock. And they got caught on a switch, and obviously tough one for Baines. And Siakam will be at the line now coming up here. And by the way, since he's a young guy and it's bedtime, I got to give a quick shout out to Lachlan Pierce. Okay, in Niagara-on-the-Lake. They live in St. Catharines, and 6 years old. So happy birthday to Lachlan. And his dad, Alan, does a great job. Adam, excuse me, does a great job at Two Sisters Winery in Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Oh,
so,
shout out to a winery.
well, no, his dad works at the winery, but Lachlan does.
Shout out to the son whose dad works at the winery.
Well, he's the big shot. He makes the wine. So, well, happy 6th birthday, Lachlan.
Lachlan, happy birthday.
And Niagara-on-the-Lake, one of my favorite places. It's just gorgeous.
Hopefully
Absolutely
we'll be
beautiful.
able to go by the summertime. 43-41. Raptors shooting 58%, we think. Raptors 9 of 15 from 3, we think. Here's Butler. Iguodala turns and fires, and he connects. And Miami now takes the lead by 1. Remember when we ran into Andre
In New York.
in New York at a restaurant after a game, and we had a conversation with him. We're talking to him. Here's Powell. And I think he was thinking at that time about returning.
Yeah, we were chatting about Patrick McCaw,
That's
former
right.
teammate from the Warriors.
And he really likes Patrick. And here's Robinson. Andre gives it up. Here's Butler. Makes a move, pulls up, and connects.
That was a really nice possession by the Heat. They unselfish, moved the ball, and the Raptors made them go into that whole thing.
Oh, Baines! Pascal Siakam throws it up off of the window on purpose, and Baines comes flying in for the slam dunk.
So you're saying that was a backboard pass, huh?
Yeah. The old backboard pass.
They used to do that to Moses Malone. I'm not sure.
And Kyle having a word with one of the fans here.
Here it is, Baines, the big fella. They're throwing backboard passes, Matty D. I don't know about that. I think that was a bad shot, but hey, we'll take it. Baines coming through.
PCR test. Now, according to a Heat spokesperson, the process has gone pretty well so far. They line up fans at one gate for the entrance to the games. While the fans are socially distanced, the dogs sniff the hands of the fans, checking for detection of COVID-19. If it is detected, they escort the fan and the family members to a lineup into a separate area where they offer information about how to get tested. All I know, Matt, is I need to know where I can get one of these COVID sniffing dogs.
Yep. Well, more fans allowed in the arenas in the United States. I think we'll continue to see that, certainly come summertime with Major League Baseball, and then next fall, I think, with everything happening in the U.S. with respect to the vaccines at a rapid pace, that is happening. I would imagine college football and NFL and then NBA, NHL teams in the U.S. they'll start moving more towards capacity. Miami up by 46-45, but you're just starting now to see fans in the arenas.
Yeah, I know the NCAA tournament is going to have that in Indianapolis. I just read
they
that.
brought everything together there.
Yeah, centralized.
Centralized.
Toronto's challenging the foul.
Okay, so we have a coach's challenge here, Jack.
I'm not sure where the foul was.
Yeah.
Did they call that on Van Vliet, Matt?
I don't know.
Because I don't see one.
We don't have a monitor here
Yeah.
that typically we would read to see who the foul was called on.
Well, we'll have it for you the moment we know.
Yeah, for sure.
It's difficult when you're not sitting there and able to yell out to a ref and find out exactly what's going on.
And also you have the scoreboard up top, right, that typically.
But here it is right here. Here's the play. We could just see.
The foul's on Lowry against Butler. Okay, let's see here what Kane says.
Review, foul on the floor stands.
All right, the foul on the floor stands, so the Raptors lose a timeout.
I mean, that's a nickel diamond call. I mean, it's. Let me see this again. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a nickel diamond. I mean, every play in the NBA is a foul. If that's a foul in the near the basket, you just chest them a little bit. I don't know. What do I know?
That's Lowry's second, and they're sending both teams back now to their respective benches. And probably like you at home, I'm trying to listen into the PA announcer. But
I think it's another timeout.
I think you might be right, but we don't know.
Well, Nick Nurse knows something. He didn't like the call.
Yeah, a conversation there, and sometimes if we can get a picture of the whole court, you can kind of see what's going on by reading the scores table.
We don't have that. Yeah.
No. Well, there's always something new on Crave, Jack, as we try to figure things out. Catch the most talked about series in the latest hit movies this month on Crave. Check it all out at crave.ca. There you can see it. Gives you a good idea.
Do they show the Del Boca Vista thing on that? The Seinfeld on that channel, maybe?
You got a good sense, too, of the fans that are in attendance. And the conversation continues with Kane Fitzgerald and Nick Nurse. And here is Jimmy Butler at the line. And Butler, a five-time All-Star. First is good.
Yamaha, revs your heart.
Nick Nurse using 5 guys off the bench tonight. So, as you mentioned, Matt, with the back-to-back.
Yep.
And a little zone action here from the Heat. Really extended to protect the perimeter, right? The three-point shooting.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that in the first 2 meetings. Here's Kyle. Deep three. Good! Kyle Lowry connects from distance. He's got 17 of the 48.
But they keep pushing you further away, and they keep making you take more long, difficult shots. Got to get some things inside to kick out.
48-48 as we head to the 5-minute mark. And Andre Iguodala, how about Andre Iguodala knocking down that shot?
He had 13 against Toronto back on January 20th, so he played well against them when they played, and he's got 9 again tonight. Something about the Raptor uniform. Here they swing it, and again, he's got Baines. You know, Baines got caught twice. He was guarding Iguodala, right? And he had to guard Duncan Robinson one time on a switch, and they took advantage of that.
Peter 5 of 9 from 3 here in the quarter. And Adebayo with a slam dunk. Stanley Johnson, McCall, Lowry, OG Anunoby.
That was too easy. He just went right by Lowry, going to his strong hand, and now you got to bring help, and he's such a great passer, you're in trouble.
Van Vliet and McCall round out to 5 of the court. Butler denies.
Again, point to wing pass. Jimmy Butler's in the area. All right, think about pressure release, go back door, run, dribble handoff action. Don't let him get the hand on it, but he just goes right by, and now Anunoby's got to come help Lowry, right? And now you don't have the helper, and you're in big trouble. So got to be able to guard him up front and take away that right hand, get him to go the other way.
Kyle kicks it. Here's Van Vliet with his shot blocked by Nunn. Stanley gets back in the reverse layup by Robinson, and it's a 7-0 run.
And Vliet's had 2 jump shots blocked tonight, and obviously their point of emphasis, get out. He's such a great shooter. Make him shoot everything contested, and now they chase him off the line, and Van Vliet gets into the body of Kelly Olynyk, and now he'll shoot 2.
Robinson leads the way for Miami.
Here's the points off the turnover there, Matty D, and Duncan Robinson showing his versatility.
Van Vliet, the first is good.
Look at that.
The free throw line.
Look at that, Matt.
Yep.
14 points off of 7 turnovers. So opportunistic.
And Fred able to get both.
Heater 10th in the league in that category, scoring off of your turnovers. About 18 a game.
11 points now for Fred. 5-point game. And Adebayo steps into it, Jack. And it's a 7-point game once again with 3:35 to go.
Jimmy Butler, 5 assists, doing a beautiful job hooking people up.
And Stanley Johnson has it rounded in and out.
This is what they want you to do. Long shots, long rebounds, get out and run.
How about the defense? Fred Van Vliet, and the help comes with McCall. Nunn can shoot the 3, and he connects. This is the largest lead for the Heat.
That was an excellent possession. They doubled the post, right? Swing, swing. Good look. Beat the defensive rotation. That's outstanding team basketball by Miami.
Pass picked off by Butler, and it's going to be a 12-point lead now for the Miami Heat, and we have a whistle.
Okay,
and it looks like there's a timeout on the floor, and yes.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Jimmy Butler is guarding the guy you're passing it to. Think twice. Pass fake, send him back door, dribble handoff.
You see Stanley Johnson and that pass. Butler was just waiting on it, wasn't he?
He sure is, and that's the awareness level when you're going against a guy who's an elite defender like that, who anticipates, understands where you're going next, and shoots the gap, gets in passing lanes, and He's impacting winning. 8 points, 5 assists, 4 boards, 2 assists. Excuse me. 3 steals, excuse me. Updated.
Powell pulls up and the jumper doesn't go. Raptors down 12. It's a 16-5 run by Miami, Jack. Again, it's one of those, just hang in there. There's a whistle, and let's see if it's a defensive 3-second violation or it's going to be a foul on Pascal Siakam. And so Pascal Siakam commits the foul. I believe that's his second. It's showing 1, but I'm just adding a second one to it. And yes, I'm being told it is his second. Now that's his third, and that's an issue with 2:18 remaining here in the second quarter.
And he's had a tough night tonight. 5 points on 1 of 5 shooting. And as you mentioned, Matt, interesting to see what Nick Nurse does now with the 3rd foul. Right now he's in there. Yep.
And Butler finds Olynyk. Here's Dragic, double figures off of the bench. He's got 13.
Step slow on that coverage that time defensively. And the Raptors help, but they're not able to get back out to shooters, and the Heat just rolling out the 3-point line.
Here's Boucher, and Chris Boucher lets it fly. 65-53, Adebayo. Good job by Pascal, staying in his stance. OG now on him. Olynyk, no place to go. Dragic, first game back after missing 9, none. Dragic, and that doesn't go. Batted out and controlled by Nunn on the inside, and Pascal with it. 1:20 remaining in the first half. Siakam drives, and it's going to be a blocking foul.
That helps. Wow.
Let's see if there's a coach's challenge on this or if they let it go, because I don't know if Kelly's heels were on the line. Let's see. No, he's way above it.
Yeah.
Miami's challenging. I would think so. This is going to get.
And Matt, with Siakam being such a good player, you might as well roll the dice and try to get him his 4th foul.
No doubt. No doubt. So Kane Fitzgerald and Gediminas Petraitis will head over, and they'll take a look at this. But
I don't think they're going to have to take a long look at this.
Well,
let's see.
Unless, because we've seen this, did Butler foul him before that one was called? And we've seen them do that in these challenges.
I think that's a charge.
I agree with you. I think that's going to be the 4th on Pascal, but we have seen in the past where they'll say, oh, well, a foul actually happened prior to that. Let's see here.
Successful. I can read his lips.
Yeah.
After review, the challenge is successful.
Yeah.
Calls an overturn to an offensive foul on Siakam.
Correct call.
And that's his 4th.
You know, it's interesting when you go through scouting report, you also know that Siakam is a lot more of a passer these days. He's got 4 assists tonight. He's averaging over 6.5 in the last 6 games. So in your scouting report, you tell guys, hey, look, particularly when he's driving it, he's thinking as much pass as he is drive, right? So if you can get in the lane and take it, he's going to go in a little bit out of control. He's looking to make plays in the lane, and good job there by Olynyk.
So Pascal, that's a tough play too, right? You're up in the air and trying to distribute it.
And you got to know you got 3 fouls. If you're going to stay, you know, and that coach trusts you to leave you in there, you got to be conservative.
And Bam Adebayo, jumper doesn't go, batted around. Offensive rebound. Miami. Here's Nunn. Push shot doesn't go. And Norman Powell. Powell with Lowry, Boucher, Van Vliet and OG. Corner three, good.
Nice set up that time by Lowry and getting into the lane and finding an open spot again. They're really protecting in the zone out front.
And knocked away. Powell with 8 points.
Here comes Lowry looking off the high screen. And the corner's open that time, and he gets it there. Right? He would have been able to take the screen towards the middle. He looked it off and took on that corner defender who sucked in on the help, and you get the open three. Really good read, playmaking that time by Lowry.
Robinson, the closeout with Van Vliet there. Here's Dragic. Flips it over to Adebayo and gets it back up fake. And a little bit of space and a good presence by Boucher. But there's going to be a foul on OG Anunoby, I believe.
Got to get Bam Adebayo under control. That's his 10th rebound. 5th offensive rebound. He's so active and energetic. And look at him right there. Just beats him to the punch. Going strong to the bucket.
I don't know if that was actually on OG. They're going to give it to Kyle Lowry. And Bam Adebayo's first free throw doesn't go. Iguodala back in. Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN continues Friday. Raptors will take on the Houston Rockets back in Tampa. The stats may work by then, Jack. The action gets underway at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on TSN. Our crew's doing a great job trying to work with that. It's actually on the Miami end through the NBA. John Russin is...
He's the best of the business.
He's working hard tonight to provide those graphics for you at home. So shout out to Johnny Rocket. And the jumper doesn't go. Raptors down 10, 66-56. And you know what? Midway through the second quarter, they really didn't play well.
No, they ran out of gas there. Miami did a great job with their three-point shooting. The ball movement was excellent. And give the Heat credit. Right now, they have earned it. They deserve to have a 10-point lead. Raptors got to make a big run. Cut it out. Robbie, Leo, Sam, coming up.
To the Toronto Raptors and their fans.
Welcome back to Raptors basketball on TSN. The Raptors currently down by 10 to the Miami Heat. I just got off the phone with Raptors assistant coach Adrian Griffin, and I asked him what the message was in the locker room at halftime after that second half of the second quarter. And he said the team was impressed with the first quarter and, of course, the second half of the first half of the second quarter. But he said there are some adjustments that need to be made, of course. Offense got a little stagnant there, especially against the zone defense. You will see adjustments on defense. They need to get up on them more, especially on the three-point shot, and get the bodies on them. He said, you know what, we've still got 2 quarters to play, so they are still confident. I then said, hopefully this isn't our last interview, because the last assistant coach I spoke with was gone 3 hours later. He said, that was wild, wasn't it, Matt?
Yes, it was. Chris Finch now the head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And time now for the Raptors' keys to victory, brought to you by Jeep, Canada's #1 4x4 SUV brand.
Well, Matty D, the first one, protect the ball. Those numbers say the story right there. Defensive rebounding, Bam Adebayo in particular doing a beautiful job getting on the glass. And last but not least, zone attack. Struggled a little bit with that. Got to get the ball down into the paint on the baseline a little bit. And they're really extending their pickup point in the zone.
Kyle's been great, 17, a game high. Fred with 11. They need some productivity out of that front line. Here's OG backing in on Bam, muscling his way in. Bam denies, they get it back. Lowry clocked down, creating, and it's going to be a shot clock violation.
Nice play that time by Bam, and that chewed up a lot of time on the clock. You're getting the ball in deep where you want it, but nice individual play by Bam.
10-point lead for the Heat. They've won 3 in a row. And against Sacramento, the Lakers, and OKC. Off-balance shot, Robinson. Scooped up by Kyle.
All right, Matty D, I got the jacket off. I'm ready.
You're ready to go.
Here.
You got the tie undone.
Tie undone. I'm
Here's
tying
OG and an air ball.
Just got to get some Raptor juice going, a little mojo going here.
Robinson turns and fires. And the shot doesn't fall as Kyle now will step into the transition three. He's got 20. Don't poke the bear. As Kyle Lowry makes it a 7-point game.
There we go on the third cup of green tea here, Matty D. I'm ready.
The double cups. You're getting crazy tonight, Jack. You know your limit on teas typically 2 cups.
Yeah, well, Kyle Lowry has no limit on his threes, Matty D. Splash! Knock it down to Jimmy. Lowry with a big night. 5 boards as well, 3 assists to go along with 20 points. High-end accuracy from him this evening.
And a offensive foul. And Duncan Robinson doesn't like the call. Raptors right there, 7-point game. They're 10 for 23 from 3-point range of the Miami Heat. The Raptors are 13 for 23 from 3-point range.
Big
numbers.
Over half of the shots have come from 3 for both teams.
And how about Lowry? He is right now feeling good. And he's got 22.
And he's had some tough games against the Heat during his career, so this is an encouraging night for him.
Butler. And defense on the inside. Here's Fred quickly from Kyle. Shovel pass. Norm goes end line. And OG with it. And Bam Adebayo is such a huge presence. But Anunoby with a left hand able to finish 7-0 run.
Getting the ball deep against that defense again, against that zone. Don't settle when the opportunities are there to drive it. Look at this, the pump, show, and go. Nice little play there by Powell. Take it strong, OG Anunoby. Raptors right back in it, stuck 3. Kyle Lowry getting it done, Matty D. Splash, knock it down to Jimmy. Pull-ups, splash. Look at him right here. Bang! And the Raptors and Kyle Lowry right back in it. Bucket, book it. Look at those numbers right there. Kyle Lowry back from injury, keeping the Raptors in a ball game, getting them back in it. Striking distance. Raptors show zone here now, Matt.
Butler. And it rattles out.
Man down, advantage.
Van Vliet.
There it is.
Pascal to Norm. Butler hustling back. Cuts him off, but OG connects, and it's a 10-0 run by Toronto.
Good job by Paolo. He drives it. Butler back into play, but then Anunoby, right, gets the open corner shot. Zone again.
Butler ends the run, and their first 2 points of the second half.
Nice pass that time behind the zone. You got to know what's behind you, right? See man, see ball. Particularly that man in your area in the zone. Little staggered action that time for Lowry.
OG. Here's Pascal now backing in on Olynyk, cut off. Pascal, remember, playing with 4 fouls, clock down. Kyle spinning over Jimmy. Oh! 24! 7 in the quarter.
Talk about buckets. That's a big-time bucket right there. Bucket. Wow, what a tough shot. Over a good defender.
On the inside. And here's Butler. And Butler has the 5 points for Miami.
Butler on the season has not shot it well from 3. Coming into the game, 16% from behind the arc. He does it inside. He can pass it, rebound it, defend, score.
And a tough angle for Van Vliet. 71-68.
Bam, so mobile. Mobile shot blocker.
Duncan Robinson.
Hey, Butler made that play, right? The dribble penetration. And Robinson does such a nice job just drifting into the area where he's at the opportunity right off the penetration to catch and put it right up there.
Butler with 6 assists. Powell, now nice feed by Kyle.
Well, he got to the second level, Kyle Lowry, right? He got by Robinson on the baseline, drew the help, and Powell, they played together so long, read the penetration and cut right to the spot. Good team play.
Butler on the inside, doesn't go. Adebayo, and a foul's going to be charged to Fred VanVleet.
6th offensive rebound tonight for Bam, so he's doing a great job off of penetration, just going right to the glass. Watch him get to the second level here. Blew by, draws a lot of shirts, whatever color. I don't even know what color that is. Pink, aqua blue. Is that like the Miami Vice, Don Johnson?
It is the Miami Crockett and Jones.
So was that show
and
on
a
the
foul on OG Anunoby?
Was that show on
Tubbs,
before
Crockett.
Seinfeld?
Yeah, maybe
Seinfeld?
Crockett and Tubbs. That was actually pre.
So in my era, maybe.
Well, no, but because you, as we've talked about before, anything post 1980 that was on TV, that's when you were in the coaching grind.
Yep, no time for anything.
Yeah, the only thing you were watching was tape.
Lots
Although I
of
think some fans said they'd get you the DVDs of Seinfeld, but I think you may need the VHSs, actually. Trapped in the corner. Here's Siakam. And Butler with it.
More energy after that timeout from Miami right there. Flying around a little more defensively, and Butler taking over here in this playmaking.
And a good job by Kelly Olynyk.
Another assist by Butler. He's got 7 now. Hitting the cutting Olynyk.
8-point lead. The response from Miami. OG with a slam dunk.
All right, got to pick up the defense and start getting Butler under control. 13 points, 6 boards, 7 assists, and he's making all the plays for the teammates.
Good closeout by Pascal. Olynyk spinning, loses it. VanVleet was right there. Adebayo doubled. Shot clock down, and Kelly's shot doesn't go. Butler on the offensive glass, and a good job by Powell, but Adebayo spinning and a slam dunk.
What a move that time. Siakam went one way with a steal, and he just spun right off that.
Heat on a 12-4 run, Jack. Lowry in the corner. Here's Norm, cut off, trying to step around Kelly Olynyk, and he's out of bounds.
Good help defense that time by Olynyk on the baseline, and here it is right here. A little spinorama this time right here. Whoop! Now you see me, now you don't. Beautiful move by Bam Adebayo. Mid-screener roll right down the gut, and Robinson stunts back to the shooter, and free basket for OG Anunoby. It's interesting, the Raptors scored 2 more field goals, but only made up 2 points here in a deficit, down 10 at half, and now down 8 here. So that timeout by Eric Spoelstra, the quick one, they've settled back down again.
None with Butler, Olynyk, Robinson, and Precious Machua. And here's Robinson, and a miss. VanVleet with Anunoby, Siakam, Powell, and Terrence Davis. Can he provide a second-half lift? Pascal. And in the corner, up fake, steps into the 2, and he connects. It's a 6-point game.
That was good offense and good defense, right? The Raptors moved the ball well, got a good shot. Miami would not allow them to get a 3, right? They chased them off the line, and good counter that time by Powell. Feet set, elevation 2.
Raptors shooting 8 of 12 here in the 3rd, and none, and a foul on OG. That's going to be his 3rd, Jack.
Nice move by Nunn there. Played well against Toronto in the 2 previous games. Look at it right here. Chase them off the line, draw a kick, right? Chase him off the line, step in. All right. 2's better than none, right? I know you want the 3, but if you can't get it, still counts on the board. Chip away. Sometimes singles, other times doubles, triples. It's all good. Better than those empty trips.
None.
None. I mentioned before how he played against the Raptors. 28, 22 points in the first 2 games. A little quieter tonight.
Free throw disparity. Raptors have been used to that. And Powell cut off. Boucher left open. And it doesn't go.
And Matt, I don't know if it's the whistle or anything. I mean, Miami's playing a lot of zone and they're paint protection oriented. So they're going to force you to take a lot of perimeter shots.
Yeah. I don't know if that was the case against Philadelphia.
No. I mean, I'm watching.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a few calls here and there, but overwhelmingly.
No, tonight. Yeah. Raptors have taken just 18 shots in the paint, but I'll say this. Here's Davis with a 3 that doesn't go, and Boucher. Raptors were plus in points in the paint last night, and that didn't matter as far as getting to the line. They were plus on the big side, points in the paint. Here's Powell. Boucher with it. Siakam. It's a quick move. Finds Davis opposite, and the 3 doesn't go. So Davis 0-2 from 3. Raptors down 8. And a foul on Davis.
It's interesting. Davis, 6 of 13 from behind the arc in the last 3 games, and he's the 11th guy to come in tonight for the Raptors. And Raptors minus 18 off the bench tonight on a back-to-back 28-10. And
it's tough.
You know, when you're not getting a lot of pop from your bench. And it's interesting, though, you have Bembry, who had been starting. He played 5 minutes. Patrick McCaw played 8 ahead of Davis. So Nick Nurse trying to mix and match different combinations, and hasn't worked out for him tonight.
Iguodala, another 3.
Well, he's had 2 really good games against the Raptors.
Back to a double-digit lead. Baines over to Fred. Van Vliet, 3-pointer, too strong. Baines, second chance for Toronto. Fred thinks about it. Nunn right there, and a foul is going to be charged to Kendrick Nunn.
Well, the Raptors, big issue tonight on a back-to-back. They're just not getting a lot of productivity out of that second unit, Matty D. And here it is right here. Dragic, Iguodala, splash. Raptors minus 21 off the bench. Hey.
Look at that. The cake's looking good. Oh, everybody's around. Watching the Raptors game.
Oh, look
How
at
about this outside? You got to like
it's
that.
It's a beautiful day today.
Got the fire pit there. Oh, that's a great pick right there. And guess who made Kate Burness made it?
Who are those guys in the back?
Tangerine fan angle.
Kate Burness.
Kate Burness made it. And the reaction. But look at Leo and Rod. I mean, they only made it because of Kate, right? I mean,
it really, I tell you what, they're really grinding there in the studio, huh? Breaking it down. And now we have the 12th Raptor in the game here. We got Matt Thomas now. So Nick Nurse just going deep.
Well, he's got to.
Going into his bullpen.
Got to find something. And a shot clock violation. You know, bench, as you mentioned, just hasn't provided a lift.
It's interesting. These 2 teams are number 1 and 2 in points in the paint defense in the league. They hit both teams to right around 40 points. Miami with 28 paint points. Toronto with only 20. So they both of them really try to encourage a lot of perimeter shots. And the Heat just a little better job at it. And the Raptors just not getting any productivity from a number of places.
Davis.
Struggling against that zone on many possessions.
Attacking. Thomas back up top. A good look.
Nice pass.
And a foul. Boucher to the line.
Well, I made this point early in the game, Matt. Miami plays their zone, and they're so focused on out front. The opportunities are in the middle and along the baseline against this zone. And the Raptors that time got the ball at the second level against the zone, right? We call it the line of the ball. The ball got behind, right? 3 defenders out top, right? Because they're really covering the entire perimeter. So you got to be able to get the ball, top of the key, elbow areas, corners, right?
Pressure. And a foul, Jack.
And sometimes
Don Davis.
Sometimes screening against the zone is helpful too, because you distort the fronts, right? And now you're in a zone, but you got to have man principles and communication, and sometimes that gets them out of whack. Set actions against it, both in the interior and on the perimeter.
It is amazing in the NBA how it'll freeze an offense, right? And
yeah.
You hear coaches all the time just run your stuff. Don't worry, right? Just go ahead and run your stuff.
It's interesting you say that. I don't even know if it's a word, but like man-to-man offense is kind of like rhythmic. I don't even know if it's a word, but there's flow to it. It's like,
if they could see you now, they'd understand, because you're speaking to it through the body language that you're showing.
I'm like an Italian here talking with my hands. I'm married to one. She talks all the time with her hands. But my point is, there's flow to it. And then when it's zone offense, it's more like probing, A to B, B to C, connect the dots, and it's a little bit more analytical, and it freezes you a little bit.
Yeah.
But you got to get flow in it, and again, sometimes you just got to attack it with some screens. That time they try to set a high ball screen against it. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
No, yeah, you are. Gabe Vincent, now maybe that's just because I'm watching you do all of the movements, but you are 87-77.
You get my point.
I totally get your point, and so do the fans.
Not true.
Yeah,
I don't feel like. Why are we listening to this guy? The guy was 100 and 154 in his career. He's a complete idiot.
But it was a good career, Jack.
I don't know about that, but try my best at this one.
Come on,
Hacking away.
Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN continues next Thursday. The Leafs into Vancouver. Vancouver coverage begins at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on TSN 4.
I was out there early. I think the Leafs tied it up 1-1, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what's going on.
They ended up winning 2-1 in overtime.
Nylander with the winning goal, Matty D. See, so.
Look at you. He had both goals in front.
How about that? Good for him. All right. Watch some hockey earlier here.
Calgary's 9-9, 9-9-2, and Leafs are 15-4-2. And Boucher with it. 87-78. Heading to the minute mark of the third, and tons of contact.
Yeah, look at them all come to the lane, to the drive. But good job by Van Vliet, and bonus opportunities. Do some things to get fouled, stop the clock, chip away here.
I have a feeling that Fred Tamar is going to put his feet up. He's headed to 30 minutes already here in the third on the second night of a back-to-back. You have Houston back in Tampa on Friday. As I mentioned, 4 games remaining in the first half in the second half schedule. 8 back-to-backs in it, 35 games, 67 days. Jack and I typically, when the schedule comes out, you kind of look at it and see exactly
where am I going to dinner?
Yeah, where you're going, where you are with when it's birthdays in the house and family birthdays and all that sort of stuff.
No, we're here.
We'll be here in Toronto, so.
What do you think? Maybe they'll, if the Raptors make the playoffs, maybe they'll
I would think
fly us to Tampa for the playoffs. I mean, we got to be there for that.
I would think. 87-80, 45.7.
Get my flip-flops. Put about 100 sunscreen on. This fair Irish skin here.
Raptors' second game of a back-to-back. They've been so good in years past. And I think, you know, this year, I mean, it's understandable, right? I mean, the depth, and then also learning about your team, and not having Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol, that affects that right there.
Sure it does. Well, those guys are, you know, proven professional commodities, and now you're kind of just breaking guys in and reworking chemistry and all those little things, the little subtle factors.
Davis, the three, steps into it.
2-possession game here, right? And you got the 2-for-1. The Raptors love to attack in that 2-for-1 zone. They're aggressive, hunting down shots there.
Iguodala sends it now to Vincent. Robinson over to Vincent, trying to get a little bit of room, and a three is good over Thomas.
Gotta be kidding me.
92-83. Here's Fred. Slips, scoops it up, puts up the shot, and it's good. Fakes him out, Jack. Sliding into home. He's safe.
How many crazy shots is this guy gonna hit?
7-point game.
Ah, he's magical. At the end of the clock, at the end of the quarter, he just makes it happen. From his keister, back up, knock it down to Jimmy. Fred VanVleet, put him on the Globetrotters. He's got it.
Everybody involved. Back to South Beach and the Cirque de Van Vliet. Can he make any crazier shots? Matt and Jack.
No, they have their feet off the table now, huh? Yeah. Grinding it out there in the studio.
Absolutely. Here in Toronto at Scotiabank Arena, the Raptors and the Heat are in Miami, and a foul is going to be charged to Goran Dragic and Kyle Lowry right there. 7-point game. Dragic doesn't like the call. He's been a key factor off of the bench. He's got 15 points. Iguodala has a dozen. Boucher with 11 for the Raptors. That's been helpful right now. Anunoby, Lowry, Baines, Davis, and Matt Thomas. OG.
Stepped out.
Yeah, good defense by the Miami Heat.
Yep, and we see that at least once a game in the NBA, guys stepping out on the side.
Looks like Jimmy Butler's getting worked on. And if we get any information on that, we will certainly pass it along to you. Adebayo. Look at Robinson. Crowded. Gabe Vincent. I tell you what, the bench for Miami's really shooting lights out from three.
Yeah, 3 threes from Vincent. 2 big ones here late.
They've made 9 threes off of the bench. Second night of a back-to-back. Raptors really searching for some help. And there's Baines with a slam dunk.
Way to get
back to 8.
The middle, right? Work the elbows, work the foul line area, the baseline. They're all out front. Odd front, you got to attack it even and get things down on the secondary level against the zone. It's good movement by the Raptors here, Matty D, on the last possession. Here it is right here. Just out, touch middle, bang, right? Hello! Beautiful pass that time, Anunoby to Baines.
Dragic at the end of the clock doesn't go. Kyle scoops it up. Lowry, shot doesn't go. Robinson, and a foul, and it's going to be on Davis.
Matt, just want to compliment the Miami Heat tonight because it's a pretty amazing stat here. I'm not a big stat guy, but you could see it with your eyes. it's really enjoyable to watch. Of their 30 field goals, 27 have been assisted. I mean, they really, you know, and it starts at the top when a guy like Butler has got 8 assists and Bam's got 4. You know, those guys, they set the tone. They're the 2 best guys, and they share it because everyone else shares it.
Bam Adebayo underneath.
Another assist.
Back to 10.
But the pass is cool, right? And when the pass is cool on your team, it's infectious.
Oh, Baines delivers. That it is. 2 teams that work hard too, Jack, defensively.
Yep, well coached.
Yep.
Best teams I've been around, when your best players are selfless and they pass it,
Yep.
usually everyone follows suit.
Back to back? No. Here's Dragic. Under 9 minutes ago in the
That was a Baines heat check there.
It was. Here's Bam. Doesn't fall, and Baines with it to Davis. 7-point game. Kyle. He's got 24. Thomas, a closeout. The length of Robinson. Davis. Good.
They did a great job chasing Matt Thomas right off the line, and he did a beautiful job bringing that along the baseline, and Davis stepped out the last time he was in that corner. Not this time. Look at Thomas. Show, go, along the baseline. Outstanding play by the Raptors, guard to guard.
Fourth quarter is brought to you by Burger King, home of the Whopper since 1954. Raptors have been playing better in the fourth quarter. And here is their head coach on their D.
Playing as hard as we can. They're late, putting some emphasis on that in our communication and in our schemes. And again, you know, you're tired of probably hearing this, but executing the schemes and doing it with every bit of effort you got is going to go a long ways, especially in the fourth quarter.
And here they are off the turnover, stripped and off of OG. But the Raptors have been really good. Nick talked about this early in the season, right about a season ago, how great they were in the fourth quarters defensively. Took some time, but here they are once again.
Yeah, and got a great chance, I'll mention it.
Baines.
Well, I'll mention it to you now. I'm talking about defense. I'll never forget, I was a high school coach starting my career, and I was at a coaching clinic. And Bob Knight, the Hall of Fame coach from Indiana, was asked the question early in the season, if you had to prioritize one thing over the other, getting ready for an early season game, what would it be? He said, definitely your offense. Because your defense takes time, it takes accountability, it takes repetition. It's really nuanced, and right, and getting guys to buy into playing, challenging guys, figuring out which guys are going to do it for you, who you can trust, and the defense usually comes along later. And I think you can see that as this team has gotten better as the season's gone on, and they've also gotten better as games go on in terms of the tactical adjustments. What are the points of emphasis? What are you taking away? And it's always stuck with me that, if you, what's this NBA season like, right? I mean, you get thrown into it and you're playing games like a week later. So your defense is going to look bad for a while. So if your offense can get it going early, it's going to carry in early season games.
Davis rises up, doesn't go.
And the Raptors were 2-8. Their offense wasn't good. And then, how's your defense going to be any good when you're running back all the time off of misses and turnovers?
Butler, double, cutting, Olynyk, and there's a whistle.
Yes, again.
Yeah. I think it was an inadvertent whistle.
Butler with 9 assists. By the way, I got an opportunity to coach against Bob Knight, and when I was the head coach at Niagara. At Indiana, we got our, doors blown off. Obviously, OG Anunoby, an Indiana guy. But needless to say, one of my many losses at Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana.
And the denial. Here is Van Vliet with a three that doesn't go. And if you ever have a chance to go see a game at Assembly Hall, do it.
Cool experience.
It is. It was built as a hall, really, to do concerts and perform and performances. And none. There's a foul there. And of course, it ended up being built really for basketball, but they kept the design that they had.
Well, everything in Indiana is for basketball. It's a great state of it, and great job that time by Nunn. Usually Fred Van Vliet does that to folks, and that time Nunn got the best of them.
Raptors tonight, you know, the turnovers and then the points off of turnovers for Miami, Jack, have certainly been a factor.
You nailed it.
Yeah. It's a 7-point lead for Miami, but plenty of time left here.
Just feel like you're playing uphill tonight. It's just
it's second night of a back-to-back.
And that's why Nick Nurse is just trying as many combinations as possible. There you go.
And he's going back to
talking about Indiana basketball.
Boucher,
the Hoosiers, right? And OG Anunoby, little karma there. Get that garbage out of here. OG punching that right out of here. His second block of the night. Give me some of that, Matty D. And then Fred Van Vliet, right at Nunn. Last time you picked my pocket, not this time. I'm bringing it right to you.
And Fred, the first free throw is good for the 5 starters in double digits. Only Pascal not in this struggle tonight. Played a ton of minutes last night, 42 plus.
Matt, isn't it funny? You look at Fred Van Vliet and OG Anunoby, just cold-blooded, like really not a lot of facial respect. You know, just the body language. They're dialed in all the time. I love their focus and maturity.
So Boucher
all business, man.
The other 4 starters. And it's out of bounds. No, you're so right. And you know, Fred, literally, as I mentioned years ago, steady Freddie, you know, and
Freddie fundamental.
Yeah, he's
sound.
Lived up to that. He's a tremendous leader.
A lot of mature guys. So you look at Norm Powell, he's all business. Of course, we know that Kyle Lowry, Chris Boucher. Right? He's out there. He's taking no prisoners out there. He's a great competitor.
Olynyk gets it back. Butler guarded by Kyle. Spinning into the double. Here's Nunn. And it doesn't go. Boucher now to Kyle. Lowry with 24.
Nice.
Fred's got 18. Here's Powell cut off.
Big trip here. Get it to a possession here.
Van Vliet up top. Fred. Double comes. Turns a corner. Sends it opposite. 3 is good. All on time.
Well, they sent the random double Iguodala on Van Vliet. He kept the dribble alive, searching, and he finds the opposite corner. What a great play by Fred Van Vliet. Don't quit on your dribble there. Probe, attack, make plays.
Olynyk finds Butler. Butler spots up. Gets it right back.
He has been great tonight, Matt. I mean, nothing short of great. On both ends, defense, offense, playmaking, whatever category you want to draw up, he's been sensational.
Here a triple-double, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, and then Norm throws it away. There's a steal. That's his third. And Butler's got the last 5 for Miami. It was a 2-point game.
Said this too often. You're passing in his area. Beware. He's so great at this. Look at this. Boom. He knows where that next logical pass is going, and he's there. Jimmy Butler making plays. Big story in the game. You've nailed it a few different times. 15 Raptor turnovers, 21 points off of. And that is a difference of 13 points between these two teams in that category. And Jimmy Butler has made such an impact on both ends of the floor. Takeaway, giveaway category, the Raptors -7. They've only forced 8 turnovers, and the team that gets the most shots usually wins the game, right? Opportunities multiply as they're seized. They die as they're neglected.
Fred VanVleet seizes the moment.
You ain't kidding. How about that? He tagged my quote, and then you brought it right to fruition, Matty D. This is like magical television. I think Socrates said that, one of those guys.
Turnover. The great defense by VanVleet, and then back to Miami.
Two-possession game. Dig in on the D here.
Up top. And here
numbers.
We go.
You got numbers.
And Miami gets back, and Lowry gets fouled.
Fred VanVleet, I mean, on the back-to-back, and you mentioned it many times, Matty, he's logged major minutes. And I tell you what, bang! He'll be relaxing tomorrow on his 27th birthday, so well-earned, well-deserved. He'd love a
W.
A W, outscoring by 5 the rest of the way. You get it.
3:33 to go. Fred double clutch off the iron, and Butler handles it.
He had Olynyk coming over to help, and just went with the first option. And
Jimmy buckets.
Stone cold, man. You make a mistake, and he makes you pay. That's why he makes the big bucks, right? You bring in elite talent, they deliver for you. Doesn't get it, and then here comes Jimmy Butler. Look at this right here. Powell drops back, and Jimmy Butler. What a performance tonight. 21 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 3 steals. Elite.
This is where it begins. Where the next wave plants their flag.
Canada has become a regular basketball factory.
It is not all about hockey. Watch out. Defies odds.
Get your brackets ready.
Another Cinderella story.
Grab it.
The story's being more. How good is this kid? Unbelievable!
And expectations. Basketball's next stars live here. March Madness on TSN. Presented by Expedia.
Tonight's King Stat brought to you by Burger King.
Well, there's a lot of ways you can go. But the assist percentage tonight, I pointed this out early in the game, Matt. This is incredible. 30 assists on 35 made field goals. They've just done a beautiful job sharing it in rhythm. Raptors have mixed in the zone once in a while, but it's just been clinical tonight. Just good team offense. I mean, think about it, too. 30 assists to 10 turnovers. That's 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. That's high end.
And what's interesting, too, Miami attempts the fewest shots a game. Here's OG, turns and fires. Short.
Well, they wanted it in the middle of the zone. I tell you what, Iguodala at the top of the zone, too. He's done a great job on his closeouts, and he's got really long arms, right? The length, the quickness, and he's such a savvy perimeter defender. He takes out a lot of options for you.
And a foul on a night in which the Raptors really needed their bench. It just hasn't been the case.
It was a minus 15, 39-24.
And Boucher, 18 minutes, 11.6 rebounds. Davis is out there now, 12 points, 6 rebounds. Bembry, just 5 minutes tonight.
Well, the other thing, too, is, you know, when you start probably your 5 best players, it has an impact on what firepower you're bringing off, and now you got to stagger groups, and you really got to consider personnel groupings. How you going to mix and match? You know, how many guys of my elite players do I need to have on the floor to prop up the other guys, right? I mean, those are all considerations that a coaching staff has, not only before the game when you talk substitution pattern, but within game when the bullets are really flying and you got to feel the game. And Nick Nurse and his staff do a beautiful job of that. And, but hey, give these guys credit on the other end. They've done a nice job countering that. Again, Iguodala, that length at the point of attack in that zone, does a really good job at the top of the 1-2-2.
Foul on the floor there. They're going to say no continuation. Saying a foul on the floor. Norman Powell can't believe it. You talked about a feel for the game. I don't know that there's many that have a better feel than Nick Nurse.
That's right there.
And that's continuation.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And now the three officials are going to come together to discuss.
And Matt, you made that point about Nick, and I would say the other coach on the other sideline, Eric Spoelstra, you know, excellent pedigree. I mean, he's worked for Coach Riley. He's worked for my buddy Stan Van Gundy as well, and he's paid his dues as a coach. And that's a tough one, Matt. I agree with you on that.
9-point game.
And at high 1-2-2, Iguodala at the point of it.
Norm rises up. Three doesn't go. Batted out. Van Vliet tapped Iguodala. Loose ball, diving for it. Kyle. And it's off of Davis.
Well, I think they're getting the ball now better to the right areas, that middle of the zone, the corners. Right? But just tough one here.
How important is length offensively dealing with the zone?
Big. You know, I think it's interesting. When you go against the zone and they got a lot of length out top, it's really difficult. Size and shot contests and active hands in the passing lane, and particularly if the guy with the active hands and the length has quick feet. And that's why you look at Iguodala, even though he's a veteran player, he still brings that, and he's just wonderful in terms of his ability to get positionally to where you want to go next.
Butler sticks it.
Hey, take your hat off.
It's the Butler.
Yeah, he's legit, man.
He's got 12 in the quarter. It's back to 11 under 2 minutes to go. Lowry drive kick, corner three, not done yet. It's like last night. Raptors just battle all the way to the final moment. Jimmy on the kick out, and in the corner, shot doesn't go. OG quickly. Here's Norman. Miami gets back with a spin dribble, double. Lowry to the cutter. OG slam dunk.
Great recognition. They double right to Lowry, and then the cutter. This good recognition. Play him straight up here now. Right? Just got to be solid.
Butler has their last 12. 2-possession game, 1:10 left.
A lot of switching going on here.
Double, Adebayo. And a jump ball is called.
Well,
0.7 remaining on the shot clock for Miami.
Terrence Davis with the first rip, and then here comes Lowry. The awareness level, and just like Van Vliet, those guys are so pesky. They go right to where you're exposing the ball. An interesting decision here by Eric Spoelstra. This 0.7. Do you concede the tap, right? Because you got to, literally, it's got to be boom and then get rid of it. Are you better off conceding it and getting your 5 guys back? Let's see what he does here.
Taps it to Jimmy. He'll catch and shoot. Off the back of the iron, offensive rebound.
Well, they pulled it off. Won that tap and got rid of it quick.
OG on Butler. And the shot too strong, and another. And there's a buzzer. And I think it's still going to be Miami basketball.
There
was not a shot clock violation, I don't think.
How good has Adebayo been on the defensive, offensive glass? Shot goes up. Look, you got 2 guys cracking down on him.
It definitely went off the rim.
Yep, correct.
Yeah, and so it's going to be Miami ball.
Bam with 6 offensive boards, and I'm not sure if he gets credit for one there, but
when you have that crowd around him, right?
Because now the ball just flies out of there. He might not even hit it, but it just you can't get 2 hands on it, and creates dead ball rebounds, creates all sorts of bad dynamics for your defense.
And it's tough too, because as we've pointed out, Raptors 30th in the league in the rebounding. Miami not much better. They're 28th, but still it's Yeah, it's tough there because you're sending 2 players down low at Bam, and as you mentioned, the ball comes out and nobody's around, none. And Raptors 5 games in 7 nights, and they played well, haven't they?
They have. They've played really well, and they're just giving it all. They're all tonight, and this is the nature of the schedule. And you know, if Nick Nurse going forward, which I'm totally cool with, goes with this starting lineup, then I think developing substitution pattern and, you know, a pecking order with that second unit, some guys emerging, it's a kind of a different flow now when you start bringing guys into games.
It definitely hits the rim. You see Kyle getting attended to. The other thing, you know, Jack, you know, with all of this, as we take a look, you see it just graze the iron.
Hit the rim. Miami retains possession.
Thank you, Kane. Starting next week, you know, the clock starts to tick now on the trade deadline.
Yep, and the buyout market.
You know, so there's going to be a lot of things happening because there's a lot of teams right now in the mix.
Ooh, boy.
Right, so it's going to be interesting to see who decides, you know, to do a deal, right?
Yep.
And it's not because there's a lot of teams probably that believe, hey, look, if we add a player and we can make a run.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting who's the buyers
and who are the sellers. Yeah.
And there could be a lot of holders too.
Yeah, for
you know,
sure.
It's
on the inside, Adebayo.
Well, your 2 best players dial it up, and they make the plays.
Yeah. And that was a third opportunity, right?
Yeah.
You know, you get the stops, but then
I think realistically, we all understand the need the Raptors have right now. And here's this high screen and just perfectly executed. Great screen, by the way, by Adebayo. And again, now you got the defender sealed, and you got a great passer in Butler. But, you know, the reality is you miss Serge Ibaka. I mean, if you look at this Raptor team, I mean, at this point, they're probably going to go under 500 to 16 and 17, but they lack that other big.
Yep.
And you know, Siakam's doing a great job for you. Boucher's had a wonderful year. But if you have one more guy that can give you a little something in the front court, because at some nights it's tough playing small because teams just go at you.
The Hyundai Performer of the Game is none other than Jimmy Butler. It was the Butler on the basketball court with the basketball that did it.
Yeah. When it's all said and done, Matt, if he's healthy and they have a healthy team the rest of the way, you know, Hero not playing. Obviously, Avery Bradley, big pickup for them in the offseason. Myers Leonard out for the year. Mo Harkless has not really had a role. They got a lot of depth, but I think if they get it together, and as I said earlier in the broadcast, if they get a month, relatively speaking, where they have pretty much all their guys, I think they're ready for a big surge, and they'll be obviously in the top 8. I can't see them being where they are right now, having to play a play-in game.
You know, Nick Nurse said this prior to the start of the game regarding Miami. To your point, here's Kyle, gets it back, quick trigger 3, doesn't go, and it's going to be out of bounds. He said, you'll have to go through these guys eventually to get to where you want to go in this conference. And, you know, they've gone through a lot, health and safety protocols. They have, you know, numerous injuries. The trap, and it's going to be off of Jimmy Butler, and the Raptors staying alive with 20 seconds to go.
And Matt, I'll say this. I think if you're the Raptors, even though you shoot 50% from the field tonight, you turned it over a lot.
Yeah,
keep it. You know, teams are going to throw some more zone at them. You gotta solve the zone. And now, obviously, Miami can play it better than a lot of other teams. For many teams, it's not their strength, and they don't have the same personnel that Miami has. And they're not as well coached in some circumstances Miami is. But I think for the Raptors, it's just another opportunity to learn. They've had some issues in the past with Miami's zone. And it's all part of the process. But, hey, you got a winnable game Friday night at home against Houston. And, you know, you got Chicago coming in Sunday. They're starting to show a little life. Just dig down and finish these last 4 games before the break as best as you can and put your best foot forward. Because even in defeat tonight, just like last night,
You're right there.
They're right there. And I have a good feeling in my gut about what I'm seeing. They lack another big, but they're mixing and matching and finding ways. And you need almost everyone playing at a really high level when you play really good teams to win. But and these guys are exhausted.
Philadelphia, Brooklyn is right there. Jack, coming into today, they've won 7 in a row. And in Milwaukee, since facing Toronto, they've won 3 consecutive. And then there's Indiana, Toronto, Boston, New York, Chicago, Charlotte, and Miami. They've won 3 in a row coming in. And Atlanta, Orlando, and Cleveland really struggling as of late. Washington, how about the stretch that they've put together? So it's going to be interesting to see how all this
plays out,
shakes out. And I still think a lot of eyeballs on Brooklyn.
It's funny too.
So.
You kind of look at how the NFL was, and late in the season, teams, whatever level you are, you kind of find it, but it takes time. And I'm seeing this in the NBA too. Just a lot of teams are scuffling right now with a lot of the challenges you just spoke about. But I just think too, it's just, and we've both been through 2 lockout years, 50 games, 66 games. This has a totally different feel than those. It's just hard to get a real feel for it.
And you can't discount, the Raptors having to pick up and move.
No, you're right.
Ain't easy. No. And you could say, well, hey, it's Tampa and the weather's great and there's no state income tax and you get all of that, and that's nice, but it's not Toronto. It's not home. It's not what it's not the rims, it's not the practice court,
Here's the other thing. Raptors are top 5 in the league every year in attendance.
Yeah.
They have a great home court advantage. Yeah. And the buzz in this city, the buzz in this province, the buzz across Canada for the Toronto Raptors, when you compare that to the other 20-time teams, this is an elite franchise in that category. And the players feed off of that, whether they're at home. And when they go play road games, Matt, if we were in Miami tonight, there'd be 4,000 or 5,000 Raptor fans there. So think of the Raptors when they play in Detroit. That's a home game. So just add all those things up, and this team feeds a lot off of that stuff, which are all good things most years. See, this year, it's not an advantage in their pocket. Got to play through it.
And they have up to this point. And the Toronto Raptors fall on the second night of a back-to-back.
Well, congratulations to Eric Spoelstra as well. He tied Red Holtzman, the Hall of Famer, for most wins with his own team, the head coach.
And a lot of respect between these 2 organizations and the players.
They're both very well run.
Yeah, they're both very well run. They play hard, and the Raptors and the Miami Heat, you see Udonis Haslem and Fred VanVleet talking about that shot that he made there, and Jimmy Butler. And Miami's happy to have the Butler back, and unfortunately Raptors is unable to get the W on the second night of a back-to-back. They've dropped a couple.
The Butler did it again.
He did, on the basketball court with the basketball, as we send it to Rod.
Yeah, they got Butlered again. The Raptors did. Kyle Lowry, 24 in his return. But the Raptors run out of gas in Miami. They got a day off tomorrow. Back at it Friday against Houston. We'll have the game on TSN. Heat win, 116-108. Raptors below 500 again. That's it from here. Here comes SportsCenter with Jen and Dutch.